and welcome back to my channel Melodious, and I decided today to finally do a craft Friday. I suppose I call it a DIY Friday, I guess that's what I call it. And this is just, I'm not actually going to demonstrate these little things I have out here, but I'm going to give you ideas. And so what I've decided to talk about today is sock snowman. I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen these around the internet, you know, directions on how to make them and, you know, YouTube videos and things like that. I started making them a few years ago, and I love making them. To me, they're relaxing and fun to make, and they make great gifts, and they make great decorations and stuff. And these are a few of them I can pan. Those are some of the ones I've had over the years. So I do variations. So the, excuse me, standard sock snowman is just, you take a sock and you fill it with rice, and you take cord or whatever string. I like to use this type of cord here, and you tie out two sections. You know, you have three sections, the bottom, the middle, the top, but you just take two pieces of cord, tie one here that makes the bottom, then tie one towards the top that makes the top. And of course, before you do that, you take a little elastic and you tie the top off of the sock, so the rice doesn't come out. And then when you have your three sections, then you can decorate it. You can use other types of colored socks, like I've done here, to make like a sweater or something, and then you can put buttons on it or whatever type of things you want. And then you can use other parts of socks to make hats, and you can use all kinds of like appliques or little decorations and glue them on or whatever. And I just use buttons, and then just the end of a toothpick for the nose, as you can see there. So that makes just a simple snowman, and they're a lot of fun to make. I have different kinds. I have this one. Actually, this one was the very first one I ever made. I love this one. And yeah, so I have that one. This one has a different hat, and I apologize if they're dusty. It's just, like I said, I made this a few years ago. So this was just as you can see, this is a cuff of a sock. So I just cut it down a little ways, rolled it up a little to make like a brim, and then you just take fabric glue. And if you're gonna use fabric glue, I wish I could remember the type that I use. I think it might be fabric tack, fabric tack or something. It's got to be a quick drying fabric glue. I have this one that I have tried to use, but this stuff doesn't dry right away, so it's hard to keep the things in place and stuff. So a quick drying fabric glue works best. I don't know if Elmer's glue would work. I never tried Elmer's glue, but anyway, I find fabric glue just works the best. So anyway, I just glued it around his head and kept it up like this, so it looks like a top hat. And so then I have this one, a little flower, and then this is one of my favorite ones because I love this sock. This sock is so soft and thick. I just think it's so cute. And I found some glittery buttons and a little glittery applique there. So he's one of my favorite ones. Okay, so, and what you see here is some variations of what I've done with I'm sorry, my speech. Sock snowmen. I have created sock animals. So this is what I did, just using my imagination. I was like, hey, I wonder if you can make animals. And yeah, of course you can. So these are the first ones I've ever made. And then I just went from there and used my imagination. Ooh, excuse me. But, so this is a penguin. And it's just, you know, you don't even have to do sections. This is just, you tie it off with an elastic on the head. There, I can show you. It looks like a pear. Doesn't it look like a pear? But then you just, you know, this is felt. I just glued on felt. These are felt little flippers he's got. This is felt feet. I just glue on his beak. And then these are some googly eyes. And then you just add a sock for a hat. And if you take a sock and you tie off some of it like this, and you cut strips down here, it makes this little Joker like silly hat here. So yeah, I made penguins. I did an owl. So owls are just, you know, feathers. You can buy craft feathers. And then I thought it'd be cute if he had a owl hat to go with his owl self, and bigger googly eyes, because owls have big eyes and stuff. Different types of things I've done. If you want to, like, step by step, I did an instructional video on my kids channel, Kids at Heart Toys. I will put the link to that video in the description box below. So if you want to step by step, I actually made this kitty right here. and I showed them how to do it. So this is just a little kitty. I added the whiskers afterward. But it's just a little simple kitty I wanted to show them how to make. So if you want an instructional video, then you can watch that video. It will be in my description box below, just if you're interested. So anyways, my little ballerina kitty. Okay, and the cool thing is with these ones here, you can be creative and take pattern socks. You know how like you can go to the store and some kids' socks will be patterned, and even some women's socks will be patterned in animal shapes, animal patterns, whatever. So that's what I did with these. This was a cow pattern on a sock. You can see the blue bottom. So I said, oh, I'll just make this into a cow, and so I did. So it was easy because I already had the cow pattern. So I just took felt, a little bit of beads, and some googly eyes, and it's just felt. And then I took some yarn and I just braided a tail. So there it is, simple as that. And isn't it fun? I mean, I really think these would make cute gifts. I really do. They're adorable. People always, this time of year, do winter scenes and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, these would be really cute to add to your, you know, winter theme or whatever. And then this is not quite the color of a zebra, but the pattern looked like a zebra. So I did a mane and a tail on the back, and yeah, just tried to make a zebra out of it. And then this little Dalmatian, because there was a spotted sock, so I made him buttons for the eyes and nose, and a cute little tail in the back. And this little guy was a bunch of work. I decided to make a black-faced sheep. I don't know what the technical term is for them, but I took a black sock, and you see the googly eyes, little black nose, but lots of different sized pom-poms. It was really hard to find this many white pom-poms because I couldn't find anywhere it was just white pom-poms. So there's a variety of them in there, but that took a while to glue all these to him, but he's one of my favorites, I'll be honest. I think he came out so cute. And I just put a little felt flower on his head. And then I guess the last thing, I did make some turtles. You can see I don't know if you can see the shell. I'm trying to show you it. On the back, there's a shell. It's just a little green turtle. So, and then I made a pig. A little, this thing, pipe cleaner. It just wound up to make the nose and little beads on there, and then the little curly tail in the back. And actually, this is the top of his head. There was so much extra material, but it looked like a little beret, so I decided to just leave it on there so it looks like he's wearing a little beret. So anyway, that's the pig. So that's some ideas, just some ideas of what you can do with these little sock creatures. It's really fun. I have so much fun doing it. And another few ideas is you can make little mini sock animals. But they're actually not socks. I did these out of fingers off of gloves. You know, those little cheap gloves, like I'll show you. You can buy these, like you can get 2 or 3 pairs of these for $1 or a couple of dollars. But you use these fingers, and there's, you know, with the thumb included, there's 5 of them. You can make 5 of these little guys. And so just use your imagination. Like I made some cute little kitties with it. Little kitties with white socks, white gloves. And I've also made, you know, more little mini snowmen. What you can do, even I experimented, if you got a strong enough magnet, you can glue a magnet to it, and you can make little refrigerator magnets for snowman. It does work. I've made one, but you know, you just gotta use your imagination in you know, science experiment, fiddle around with it till you find the right magnet strong enough to support it. But you can do it. It can be done. And I made this cute little rooster. He's got a little feather tail, and he has some feathers for wings and little felt feet. And, yeah, and then a little gray kitten with a tail. So those are all from gloves. So that's pretty. These take a little more detail, just because really tiny to try to get, but it can be done, and they're fun. But yeah, so like I said, socks. Ooh, socks. Lots of socks. So, you know, just different colors. You know, a blue one could be a bluebird, a yellow one could be a canary or something, a green one could be a frog or a turtle, crocodile, I don't know. Pink one could be a pig. And if you got the, you know, the patterns, like I said, that could be a, you know, interesting leopard or whatever, a Dalmatian, you know, just different stuff like that. This could be a kitty or whatever, or, you know, it's just whatever your imagination does, you know, And the cool thing is with patterns too, this would make a cute little sweater, you know, like you see on these guys or whatever. Oh, he fell. Hang on a minute. You know, and this is a cute little pattern that would be good for a hat or a scarf or whatever. So let your imagination just go. And same thing with the little mini ones, because look all the different color gloves you can get, and how many different things could you know, make with them. So really cool. And what I use to tie them is I like twine like this. I use this type of twine. All right, and you know, it's just glue, felt if you want to make the animals, and I sometimes use this with it's like felt with has sticky backing. See that? It's sticky, so you don't have to use glue on that. So that works pretty well. I'm just showing you a few materials. Pom-poms. And I don't know. I have a whole bunch of stuff. You know, like you have feathers, like for birds. They have all kinds of feathers. Googly eyes for them. Or you can use buttons for eyes. Like my Dalmatian has buttons. You don't have to use googly eyes. I don't know if this has any feathers. It has hardly any, but you know, they have some really realistic looking good feathers. And then there's beads, like I have these beads that can be used as eyes or anything, buttons, felt stickers, or some kind of stickers can be used for, you know, decorating the sweater or putting on a hat or, you know, whatever. And then I'll show you one more thing. I didn't show some in Kids Channel because I thought this might be more adult-like, but I've even made things like this. I personally love these myself. So how I made this, so just quick, I got this jar at Goodwill. You know how Goodwill, you go to Goodwill and they have all these like glass jars and different types of interesting jars for, you know, this was 50 cents or $1, and you can get those. And I'll show you a few examples because I have a few here. I have this one, and I also have this one. The problem with the open ones is that it gets really dusty. I would recommend, if you were going to try something like this, if I explain, that you get the closed ones, because the open ones, like I said, they just get a lot of dust. It's hard to keep them clean. But anyway, there's another example. How I did this, and I'll do it really quick because this is going to be a long video and I don't want to do too long. Once I have everything in here, is that stuff I need to show you. Here it is. Okay. So before I fill the jar, I take duct tape, because the idea I had is I wanted the back of it to look frosty, like it's cold, and then like somebody took their hand and rubbed it so they could see what was inside. That's why I tried to make the edges a little uneven. So it's like somebody wiped their hand across it. So how you get the frosty look generally is, I believe it's this stuff. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'll use this stuff. It's glitter blast diamond dust. It's a spray. You also, I heard, can use glue. Like if you use, I think you have to use like Elmer's glue and water it down a little bit with water, and then you just paint it on, you brush it on. But the problem with Elmer's glue is I think it's washable. The problem I have with it, it will wash off. This stuff, of course, doesn't. So I'm pretty sure it's this stuff. It's just been a long time since I made these. But you just take this and you go outside, of course, ventilated area, and put duct tape, like I said, along the area you want to display what's inside. And the rest of it, you just take the spray and you spray all around it with the spray. I didn't spray the lid, though. I just sprayed the jar. And let it dry. And then when it dries, it makes this like frosty look. And then once it's dried, you take off the duct tape and you have this clear little opening. And then after you have prepared the jars, all this is I took these little minis. I made some minis out of mittens, right? And then I put some fabric glue on the bottom, and I used the inside of this, the white snow is just cotton balls. I just took cotton balls. But first I take the little minis and I glue them in position where I want them to be glued into. And then I put a little bit more glue so that I can get some of the cotton glued down there. But you don't have to have all the cotton glued down because it will stay pretty good. So you put the cotton around them to look like snow. And the trees are just pom-poms. So I made trees. I took 3 different size pom-poms, put them together, glued them together, let them dry, and then I stuck it there. And then this little guy was very hard to do, but he's cute, isn't he? Isn't a snowman cute? Those are just 3 tiny pom-poms that I glued together, and the arms, as you can see, are like they're broken off toothpicks, and the nose is just a tiny piece of felt, and just tiny little beads for the eyes and the buttons. And I just put that on top. I glued that on top of the snow. And then after I had them all in place, all I did was take this stuff. Is really cool. It's just extra fine glitter, and I'm actually going to take a little bit out to show. Like, see, it's so sparkly, and that helps the cotton balls really look like snow. I'm going to just redo it a little bit. So I don't know if you can see it very well. If I do a little bit on him, I don't know if it even shows. It probably doesn't show. But you just sprinkle a little bit. I might want the tree to have a little more since it's been a while. Let me see. Put a little more snow on the tree, all around there. Okay, so I added a little more glitter. And it doesn't take a lot. I mean, this would last a long time, but it's really pretty, and it really just, you see it twinkle. You see that really glitter over there, and the tree's glittery. So it really just makes it have the effect of snow. So I just like that effect. So yeah, you can use that to cover the rest of it up. And there you go. And you can just take some fabric glue and I just took a really sparkly ribbon. I just secured it with glue around there, and that makes a nice, topping. And then you have it. And I just think they're adorable. I love these things. I really do. And they're fun to make. And these would make really great gifts. They would. So, yeah, so that's a fun thing that you can do with these little, these little sock snowmen. I mean, who knew? You can make little ones out of mittens, make little cute things, and then you can even put them in a little, decoration like this. And this one I made, and it's just a little turtle. It is a turtle, believe it or not. And I made this little sled, as you can see in there, just out of tongue depressed, not tongue depressed, those really wide, I don't know what they're called, but yeah, sort of like a tongue depressor, but just those craft ones. And that's just a broken off piece of toothpick, and the bottoms are toothpicks, and you just glue them. I just put little lines on them to look like a sled. But yeah, as that one, and like I said, the open jarred ones get really dusty, so I think I'd rather use closed jars. But if you're going to do that, I want to give one more warning. With the fabric glue, I would leave the top off for a while so that the fumes of the fabric glue will dissipate before you put it, because it doesn't smell anymore. There's no fumes at all in this. But at first, there is glue fumes. So I would leave the cover off for a while, a few days, and then maybe hopefully it will dissipate enough so you can put the top on. But anyway, this is this guy. I don't know if you can see him. It's hard to see him. He's cute. And I had one more, but I don't know where he went. I thought I had one more. I did have one more. I don't know where he went though. Oh, I'll find him. Hang on. I actually have 2 more, but I don't know where he went. I'll just show this one. And just watch out. Just don't mind it because they are dusty. I didn't get a chance to clean them off. And there's this one. I have a doggy and a piggy, and I tried to make a little pine tree, so it's a sad little pine tree, but it's still cute. So there's that one. And one more thing I will show you, just ideas, especially if you want to make these cute little jar ones. You can, I don't remember where I got these again from. I guess there was a place a few years ago called Zazzle.com. And they sold stickers that were photos, And so what I did, I had this idea, was I got various different, man, I am sorry, I have everything in the way. Various different stickers that look, photoreal or whatever. Different winter scenes, like this is Aurora, and this is just a village, snow village, or whatever you want to call it. And it's just some snowy trees, and then what else did I get? I got a couple more. And they're not I don't know how much they were. They're not terribly expensive. They're only like a couple dollars per sticker sheet. You get anywhere from 4 stickers to 6, I guess. And I had this cute little, I used quite a few of these. Cute little snow scene there. And then this is just a lot of snow with a single tree. But what you can do, which is cool, and I've done it to other ones. I don't know if you'll be able to see it though. But before I put everything in, I would put the scene. I'm just trying to give you an idea. I don't know if you can see it, but okay, so let me see. So there you go. Do you get my idea? Do you understand my idea? This would be on the inside of the container because it's a sticker. You could stick it right on there. And doesn't it look like they have a backdrop though? So I've done that before, and that's really cool. Like, I mean, you can do that one. That one works really well. I love this one too. I love this scene so much. Like, I'm just trying to show you. Hang on. Be patient with me. Okay. But, like, look at that scene. Wouldn't that be so cool? See? You can't see it very well, and I apologize. But, you know, a little winter scene in the background with them. I just wanted to make it look, you know, more 3D or something. So, anyway, those are my ideas for things you can do with these things. I mean, who knew? Use your imagination, and there's a lot of cool things you can do with these little sock creations. So, very easy to make, very fun, and they make, I personally think they make good gifts. I've given a few of them away, and people have loved them. So, yeah, I just wanted to offer that to you for our DIY Friday. Like I said, if you want a demonstration of me making this, I'm careful with it, it still has to dry, this little kitten, I will leave a link to the kids channel where I posted it in the description box below, and you can give that a try just to see how they're done. And yeah, so thanks everyone for watching. I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.